All right, so we had a big event that happened on Friday, and shout out to all the people who came to the live stream on my YouTube channel. It was a great time hanging out. We had like 16 people come out and spend time with me. So if you want to see my full reactions and talking to the chat, that's in the live chat tab that's on my YouTube channel. But I want to kind of just do a highlight of things that I was excited about with this 6.3 expansion, some things that I was a little disappointed about, some things that I'm hoping happen when 6.3 drops. Starting off, I'm really happy about the new Trial Extreme. I need the new Trial Extreme to be just like Stormcrown. To this date, hands down, Stormcrown is one of the most fun, if not one of the best extreme fights of all times that they've created. It really blends the balance of a extreme fight and a almost savage tier fight that I feel like it's a great introduction to get people who haven't dove into Savage Rage yet to give it a try. So I'm really excited about that. You know, we got the MXQ coming, so that's another thing. The new Ultimate I was not expecting until like 6.35 or 6.4, but it's dropping 2 weeks after the launch of 6.3. I think it's actually 3 weeks. I'm not for sure if it's 2 weeks, but this says 2 weeks. I've dabbled in every single Ultimate pretty much but T. And if you know, I am on a road to complete every single Ultimate within 2023 is my goal, is to hopefully clear all 5 Ultimates. So that is one of the biggest things that I'll be working on this year. So I'm really happy to do a new Ultimate. And I might just end up holding off on UCOB and just really focusing on that when that drops. We of course got the new Alliance raid. That's going to be a great way for people to get gear, to get caught up so they can do the Ultimate if they want, or at least get, you know, around their eye level range, which is really great. The new Unreal Trials, I don't dabble in too much of that. The other big thing that I was kind of disappointed about, and I'm trying to see if it's here. Yeah, the second stage of the Relic weapon. I was slightly disappointed because it's not dropping to 6.35, and I really felt like it was important to drop this stage of the Relic in 6.3 because usually stage 2 is a really grindy stage, and it's going to require some time and effort to be able to start grinding out those things you need for your weapon. And it's kind of weird to me that they're holding it off to 6.35 because that means there's not really a lot of content for people to do outside of MXQ unless you're into Ultimates or unless you're into a stream where, you know, more of the casual players or people who just want to, you know, who are big like Relic farmers can start just working through that in 6.3. I'm kind of disappointed that it's holding off there. That was one of the biggest shockers for me. I just knew it was going to drop in 6.3, but you know, Yoshi V's got a plan, I guess. Outside of that, housing is cool. The new deep dungeon, which I have not dabbled in deep dungeons, but I have told my chat that we will start having special YouTube streams where I'm catering to certain themes and I want to try to complete or solo deep dungeons. So if you have tips on deep dungeons or anything, drop that in the comments below as we prepare to get ready to suffer through those, because that's gonna be an experience. They talked about a little bit about the Paladin rework, but they're gonna wait for that. One of the biggest things they was talking about was minor changes to the balance of jobs. I really need, and then not just because I'm a machinist fan now. I really need Machinist and Red Mage to get some love. Because the thing with Machinist, and I talked about this in my live stream, is that when you look at Machinist, it is labeled as the same thing as a Samurai and a Black Mage. It is labeled as a solo, as a selfish DPS class that what its main goal is to bring damage. When you look at that, Samurai is the highest damage in the melee class. It makes sense. It only brings damage. Black Mage is the highest caster damage in this class, in this mage range class, because it only brings damage. But when you look at Machinist, it doesn't follow that trend. With the buffs, it helps, but it's still at this weird point where Machinist is doing just as much, or if not slightly more, than Dancer and Bard, who brings so much utility to the fight that Machinist should be, without a doubt, doing the most damage as a physical range DPS. That's his job, and when it's not doing that, you have to ask yourself, is the job being efficient? If I can bring Dancer and do just as much damage as Machinist, if not more, Why bring machinists when I also have dance partner? I also buff the party, and everybody else benefits from doing more damage. Why bring a machinist? And I really need Final Fantasy to really look into those things, that if you have these selfish DPS classes, that's why Black Mage got a buff, because they realized that Black Mage was not doing the damage it should do to be considered a selfish DPS class. And I need machinists to get that. So whatever they're doing with the buffs, I really hope that they put some love and time into machinists and Red Mage and make them feel good to play, because that's really important. I think the next tribal quest is going to be dope. Dropping at 6.35 was surprising to me. I feel like we just got the second Beast Tribe quest, and I feel like we're getting that really quick. But that's awesome. I was happy to see that the Island Sanctuary is getting love. I need to unlock it. I'm gonna go out and say that I have not unlocked Island Sanctuary. I just been busy, but I will do it. So if you got any Island Sanctuary tips or things that you want to share to help a brother expedite his his content growth, let me know. Let me know in the comments below. PvP, I actually enjoy PvP, so I'm glad to see that PvP is getting some new battle passes, new seasons, some job adjustments. I'm happy that Cloud9 is becoming less. Cloud9 is one of my least favorite PvP maps to play, and we're getting a new one, so I'm really excited about that. I'm really interested to see the Dragoon changes. I'm surprised they haven't talked about any of that yet. None of the Dragoon changes. I really want to see some Dragoon changes just to get an idea. I really hope they keep the flavor of Dragoon being this weaving expert, of having to weave their buttons in between their rotations. And then the last thing I think is really cool, and I don't actually personally use this, but duty support. Duty support has come a long way, and now they're including duty support in Heaven's Warp. And me and my chat had a really good conversation about this, about the benefits of duty support. Duty support, I know people are like, it's an MMO, It really gives people a way to be introduced into a job that they've never played or are feeling super uncomfortable about. And without the stress of like the anxiety of failing, because, if you do it with NPCs, it's a completely different feeling than if you have 3 people in there, you feel like you're wasting their time. I know people who have gotten over tank anxiety from doing duty support. I've known people who got over healing anxiety from doing duty support. People really can dive into the lore of getting like that extra dialogue if you're like a lore hunter or a lore lover or whatever that's called. But duty support is something that I've always been happy that they brought into the game, because it's a great way of being like a tutorial for people who just want to try something without getting flamed or without being judged. And to see that they're bringing duty support into Heaven's Warp content now, they've already included ARR, they've already included the newest expansions, and that they're continuing to grow on it and make them better for people to have the option that if you want to try a class without the pressure, that they continue to build on that. And I love it. I will always support duty support. Those are like the biggest highlights. The list is here. I'll drop this link in the description if you want to kind of just get the rest of the highlights, or if I've scrolled too fast. But I really want to see some job adjustments to classes that need love, that should fit what they're supposed to be doing. And I really want to see, I really wish that the relics would have dropped a little earlier. Everything else I'm excited about. The extreme is going to be Bay. If it's anything like Stormcrown, I'm going to be tickled to death. But like I said, if you want to see the full stream of me talking about all this, it's in the live Discord live link. The other big announcement is that I am going to be testing out some YouTube streams here instead of on Twitch, where they're going to be more dedicated to doing certain things. So look out for those and see if you're interested in that. Because other than that, I'm excited about 6.3. Ultimate is going to be banger. If you're not into Ultimate, tell me what you're most excited about in the comments. And as always, if you enjoy this content, enjoy hanging out with me, think about hitting the subscribe button. It helps me out. It doesn't cost a thing. And it's just a way to say that, James, I like you.